question. This was, you asked the question, I'm going to answer your question. This was what I spent my time doing.
I'm a survivor trying to look out for other survivors,
and I was taking care of the people who lost 3,000 lives.
And now, how do you know Howard Lutnick?
I know Howard Lutnick because when I was senator on 9/11, the firm he headed, Cantor Fitzgerald, suffered the greatest loss of life. As I recall, something like 650 of his employees were murdered by terrorists that day. Howard Lutnick missed being a victim because he was delayed dropping his child off to kindergarten. You asked the question, I'm going to answer your question. This was what I spent my time doing.
I'm a survivor trying to look out for other survivors.
People who lost 3,000 lives. And I'm going to answer your question. You asked the question, I'm going to answer your question. This was what I spent my time doing.
I'm a survivor trying to look out for other survivors.
And I was taking care of the people who lost 3,000 lives.
And now
3,000 lives.
And now you're being defiant and indignant today.
You asked me
I
about
have met
Howard
with Epstein
Lutnick.
survivors. I'm a survivor myself. You have emails. You've denied that Jeffrey Epstein, that you tried to get Jeffrey Epstein to give money to you.
I did not.
Howard Lutnick was
If you have an email with me asking Jeffrey Epstein for money,
I have an email from Howard Lutnick sending it to Jeffrey Epstein and his people to raise money for
I don't
you
know about
for an event, an intimate event for you at his office at Cantor Fitzgerald. You're going to sit here today
if you would let me finish.
and obfuscate and say to this committee, you didn't try to get money from Jeffrey Epstein. There was an intimate event in an email that Howard Lutnick emailed to Epstein's people and Epstein to get him to come to your intimate event at Cantor Fitzgerald, a very small event. And so I'm not going to, if you want to yell at me, that's fine, but I'll yell right back.
Well,
okay? I am looking out for survivors. I'm doing the job that you would not do or refuse to do as Secretary of State. Thank you, and I yield back to
no, I'm going to finish answering the question, which I have a right to do. I am very sympathetic to your personal situation. I have read about it. I have seen you testify or speak on the floor about it. And I very much sympathize with not only what you went through, but appreciate your effort to stand up for survivors. I was a senator representing the people who were murdered on 9/11. Nobody lost more people than Howard Lutnick. You can say whatever you want. You can call him and have him appear before the committee. But I knew him as the man who lost the employees that he knew intimately, including his brother. So I worked. You know what? If you don't want to hear what emotionally affected me, that's fine. But that's why I know Howard Lutnick. I went to the memorial service every 9/11 after the formal service was held with all of his people, the families. Well, you know, Howard Lutnick and I did work together because we had a lot of victims to take care of, and we worked together to rebuild downtown Manhattan. That is how I know Howard Lutnick. You guys are doing that. I am done. You can hold me in contempt from now until the cows come home. This is just typical behavior. Oh, for heaven's
So I would
sake.
like to understand how that's permissible.
It doesn't matter. We all are abiding by the same rules. Yeah,
I
well,
would like to take a break at this point.
yeah, I'm done for now.
Go off the record. Go off the record. Go off the record. Go off the record.
Best I can.
Was she or any other young female on that trip underage at that time?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did you ever receive a massage or have physical contact from her or anyone else on that trip?
You've seen
foundation of the question, he's already stated he was not on the island. You're now asking about a claim of the Fifth Amendment by Jeffrey Epstein.
Is it possible, and in your opinion, that you and or your wife were targeted as a means of an intelligence gathering operation?
Object to the form of the question. Object to the form of the question. No objection to if he knows.
That's what she asked.
No, she said, is it possible? So she's asking him to speculate instead of asking him, does
Do
he
you know if you were targeted at any point?
I don't, but
Okay.
I don't. I'd sort of be surprised, but I'm not. I don't know.
Mr. President, before we left off, I asked you to characterize your relationship with Mr. Epstein. I asked you if you considered him to be a friend. You said you did not. Is that right?
I said we were friendly, we had a cordial relations, but I didn't know him well enough. Because we had almost no contact beyond what I understood.
At this time, I'd like to introduce what we marked as Joint Exhibit 13. And this is Bates marked House Oversight 000126. And while it's being passed out, this is a letter from a book of letters, which
Yeah,
was
it's his
compiled
50th birthday.
Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday.
Questions?
Yep,
Mr. President, do you recognize this
I
letter?
do.
And for the record, does this appear to be your handwriting and
It
signature?
is.
And why did you write this letter?
Why did I? Because I was requested to contribute a nice letter for his birthday book.
And who asked you to write the letter?
And no, I don't remember.
Would Miss Maxwell have asked you?
I think someone on my staff asked me.
Now, there's a word that our committee has not been able to identify. And in our defense, the Wall Street Journal has not been able to identify.
Imagine being on his staff.
Can you please read the letter for the record?
Yes. It's reassuring, isn't it, to have lasted so long across all the years of learning and knowing, adventures and errors, and still to have your childlike curiosity, the drive to make a difference, and the solace of friends.
And because we haven't been able to identify that word until now, what did you...
Which word was it that you could not?
Solace, you couldn't.
No, errors.
Errors. What do I mean? Anybody who's lived 50 years and done anything has made mistakes as well as progress. And done things.
But for the record, you weren't referring to errors, the judgment that Mr. Epstein had related to his inappropriate activities involving...
Absolutely not. I knew nothing about that.
We have, as you know, in the files that were released, there were several photos that included you, and we have an exhibit here. That's just one of the photos. And Exhibit K, Minority Exhibit K.
Yep.
And we'll have that passed around. And what we're trying to get at is some context for the public on whether you remember this photo and any details
You guys
may
can
will provide us
I am
about it.
done. You can hold me in contempt from now until the
Do you
cows
believe
come
that
home.
Jeffrey Epstein
This is
killed
just
himself?
typical
Are you
behavior.
asking him to speculate on how Mr. Epstein died?
Oh, for
I'm
heaven's sake.
asking what
understand
the president
how that's
thinks
permissible. So you're
of
asking his opinion?
Mr. President.
It doesn't
was
matter.
your-
We all are
was your
abiding
friend
by the
Jeffrey
same
Epstein
rules.
Are you
suicidal?
classifying him as a friend who he has
Yeah,
testified
well,
that he was
Because he called
friendly?
him a friend in a letter.
He said
I'm
he was
done
friendly,
for
but
now.
not, you've asked for his
Mr.
testimony.
President, do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein was suicidal?
No.
Was he ever
She's asking
suicidal?
the best of your
I
understanding.
don't know. I only know what the medical finding was. I think maybe he finally got caught. I don't know. I've accepted it in my own mind. I don't know what happened.
Mr. President, what did you accept? That he killed himself or that he did not?
But he did, but I don't know.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Neither do
Mr.
you.
President.
We don't. None of us know. We won't do it.
Mr. President, it's been an honor. Thank you.
It's again, it's from GMAX, Guy Maxwell. We believe, well, it's redacted. We haven't seen the redacted files. We believe that the two is to the same female. It says, "Sorry to hear about the Bellsburg stuff. Is bad news. Even worse, that it may be damaging. You know that one of my pet fears is that in London I'm less toxic. So like a horse. And well, you get the picture. Maybe you don't mind. Are you familiar with this?
Are you saying at the time it was sent or in the preparation for this?
At the time that it was sent, were you familiar with it?
Oh, no.
Are you familiar with it before?
Yes, it's now famous.
Okay, well, what can you tell me about your knowledge of this?
So if his knowledge is only from when he was prepared for this hearing, that would have been with his counsel, or is that what are you asking for outside of any preparation for
Yes,
this hearing?
Mr. President, do you believe that Mr. Vance sent this or received this email? Okay. So, and there's more. We go to the next one. Exhibit, which would be number 20.
And the answer is, I
No,
don't
wait a
know
minute,
about
there's
this.
no question.
The time.
I would just ask you to clarify whether or not you're asking if he knows about these emails at the time they were sent, or if you're asking whether or not he came to learn about them in the course of preparation, just so that distinction in time is clear.
I do not know, but if you are implying the reverse, I will volunteer something. She was never in my house in Chappaqua for any personal reasons.
I didn't say that you made them.
No, you didn't, but you had a great.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment.
Thank you. I did not get a yell loss or any loss for that matter.
Mr. President, did you ever make any attempt to influence the his coverage of Jeffrey Epstein? And this is an email from Virginia Giuffre, Epstein victim, that alleged that he wanted to abandon the affair, that threatened not to write sex trafficking articles about your friend Jeffrey Epstein. Mr. President, is this true?
No. No, not close.
Why do you think this Giuffre would make these
Are you
claims?
asking about this? Just very can we not do that? Like, ask him about the facts that he knows, as opposed to asking about the facts that other witness finds.
Mr. President, have you ever asked other publication to shut down the story related to Mr. Epstein?
No. And you have a right to ask those questions. It's reassuring, isn't it? It's been lasting so long across all the years. From learning and knowing, adventures and errors. And still to have your childlike curiosity. And that make a difference and the solace of friends. Solace, that's no reading about it. It's fire, go wash, read my helmets. Story, everything you want and you know what. Story, you lost, talking on what's the standard. Anything else, seriously. Stay